Hey everyone, so Jean and I are looking into CSS, and this is call number 3, specifically the page-specific bundles. And what have we solved so far? So we came up with an idea how we do these page-specific bundles. For example, this is the to-dos SCSS. And we already had to work around a few problems when it came to CSS variables for our dark theme, and we found a solution with using native CSS variables. So now the one remaining question is, how would we deal with EE? And that's what we're going to answer today, right? Yeah. Okay. How do we do this though?
So I think looking back at our conversation in the epic, maybe we can just go there. So Martin kind of like noticed that there's some analytics files that are under EE, like should they also be considered? And we said definitely, like we want to take this pattern across E to EE as well. And we could. I think you made a remark of importing the EE bundle into CE.
Yes. So
As
yeah. I think there are basically two ways to go about it. One way is either you basically have a switching logic, that is like, hey, we have like an EE bundle and in CE it's empty, or in EE it's larger, right? Whatever. Or you do it the other way around and basically have an importing logic, which, also would be fine. The question is, and this is just like, to be honest, I would prefer, so I think for an example, what do you think about just trying it out with our to-dos? Because in to-dos we have a CE version and we can just create an EE version of it and see how it will work out, right? Because to be honest, I think the EE version will be pretty, if you have an EE only thing, it will be pretty transparent how to do it, because we have in our app configuration, config.rb probably, or is it application? It's application.rb, right? Application.rb. Yes, because if we look here, we actually have like this logic EE. Yes, so here's how we pre-compile like the current page bundles, right? Yeah. So what we can do, because we basically add like asset paths here, if you have like an EE only thing, let's say EE only feature, right? This should be pretty transparent because it will just compile that file and it will work from the EE folder. The only question is, what happens if we have to-dos CSS, right? What happens if we have this if Gitlab EE thing and we basically have an EE version and a CE version, right? So what happens then? Which one of those two will take precedence? And to be honest, like if there is an EE folder and this one will be taken over the other one, I would say no, because here we basically are just saying, hey, if we are on EE, we are appending like these paths so that, if you say pre-compile whatever, there is actually like this order of logic that sprockets, basically looks in any of the paths that I have configured. Can I find a page bundle to do CSS, right? So theoretically, even if we had like to do CSS somewhere in, I don't know, vendor asset fonts, it would take that, right? So I think we just need to have a look which one of these takes precedence. precedence the right word? Which one of these will be taken first? We can keep it simple. And then we might also just need to move like this block here so that on EE, the EE version of something will be preferred. And if EE is not there, the CE version will be taken, right?
Wouldn't there be instances where you need both the EE styles and the CE styles? You know, it's not like, you know, like my understanding is it's not either or. It's
yeah,
like
and
EE extends what it might be in CE.
Exactly. And in this case, I would simply say, hey, why don't we solve it in a problem in a way where we are, where do we have style sheets? And this is why I said, hey, let's take the example of to-dos because we already have to-dos, right? Where is to-dos? Why wouldn't we, oh, geez. Why wouldn't we just do this new directory? No, it's a new file. Why wouldn't we just then do like import and just import the CE style in the EE, right? Like import, I don't know if we have like a way to import here. I assume we do. And this is where it could get tricky. The way how Sprockets works, because if I recall correctly, like this is how we, entry point. How do we do it with the application? Yeah, this is basically what we need to check. Does it work? Will it work? Won't it work? Is it like that we need to enter like really weird paths here somewhere, like app? Oh, this was actually the right amount of, you know, style sheets, page bundles, to-dos. So why does it complain? That's always the same, replace quotes, right? And then we could just be like HTML, I don't know, or color red important, right? And if this works like we expect it to work, we should now in EE see the red color, right? And that would be basically, if this just works out of the box, the solution to our problem, I think, is pretty simple, right?
Yeah. And I think what would be good then is if we create an MR that shows this, we close it, but it can serve as a reference just for people to refer how to go about it.
It might be that we need to change something, right? It might be that we need to, I don't know the order, if like all asset paths are put together and then in the end it's resolved, or if actually the order of adding these asset paths matter, right? Because we define our page bundles to do CSS here, but we just declare the EE path later on. I don't know if this matters. This is like what we should try to figure out in this call. Hey, all the stuff installed. Nice. Now we can do a GDK update. Yeah. GDK update. Cool. Yeah. So let's see what happens. I actually had the GDK running all the time, and I wondered why my computer was so hot. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. This looks better. It errored out before because I forgot to install a dependency. Gitlab shell. Oh, this looks. GDK restart. Yeah, these are the ones that I want to restart. I don't care about Jaeger and so on. Oops. Okay. Install some dependencies for all I care. Yeah, okay. Localhost 3000. I mean, maybe it already works because the GDK is running, right? I don't know. Do I have other stuff running? Yeah, maybe let me close the other browsers and editors and calendars and private messaging and Git client and email and yeah. I think that would be the this would just be the approach that that I think would be the most expected. Like, hey, if you have an EE version, just create an EE file, and if you have an EE only thing, just add it here, like like EE only, right? Yeah. Okay, migrations are pending. Okay, this should happen in oh, what is happening? Oh, sheesh. But why? I mean, the database is running. Whatever. Maybe we can force a migration. Wait, what? Ah, should be in the GitLab folder. Bundle install. Okay. What is happening and why? This is the worst.
Oh, thank goodness my GDK update just worked.
Yours just worked.
Yeah, I just ran it and it executed. It did all the migrations and stuff, but yeah, it seemed fine.
If I don't have mine running in 2 minutes, we can maybe just switch around.
Yeah.
PG config. No version set for command PG config. You might. Let me just. Okay, what happens now if I do the same thing? What the heck? Okay. ASDF current. It should tell me Postgres is set. Like it's actually set. Why? Which PG config? It works perfectly. ASDF.
What is ASDF?
It's like the package manager that we're moving to with the GDK. Obviously, it's good if it's not working. Uninstall Postgres 11.9. Ah.
I think it was listing 11.8, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it installed 11.9. But I actually just want to have one. I don't know. Beep, 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 beep. Let's try, give it another try.
It was ADSF managed multiple packages.
Yeah, it basically manages everything. And now it's complaining about what? Ah, I have an idea. One more try. Ah, wrong editor. Postgres 11.8. Okay. Let's try again. Could be that it doesn't find a global config and is confused because, it might be that the gem stuff is executed in a different, it looks like it's installed in a different path. Yeah, it works now. Okay, this means I can now have my migrations, please. Sorry.
I think this is kind of like what Ash was relating to the other day on the call, is that a lot of the time issues with the GDK is because of the host environment.
Yes.
So, yeah, and that's difficult to overcome without a container.
Yeah, it is. Whoop. Okay. It should work now. Maybe for a good measure, I also install like stuff with Yarn. Yeah, looks like it. Yep. I'm happy when I get my new PC, or once I get my new PC.
Ooh, are you due for an upgrade?
Yeah, in March.
Ah.
3 years.
Hopefully they announce a new model soon.
I assume they will just announce the ARM models. I'm already happy that they fixed the keyboard. My little sister has one of those MacBook Airs, and I'm already happy with the keyboard there. It goes back to the good old new keyboard, or new old, the.
And also the thermal handling is better.
That's also good. Okay, Webpack. I mean, all this stuff is happening. I also have like these itchy trigger fingers. I always, in the moment when I'm restarting stuff, the web page actually shows up, right?
Yeah.
It's just like this is not needed. I have so many stuff. That's also like already. Gosh. Come on.
Problem I have here is we don't get the 32 gig models without custom ordering it, and it takes weeks. So you only get the 16 gig model. So I constantly get like a warning that I'm running out of RAM, especially when I'm running the GDK.
So how many gigs do you have? 16.
16. Yeah, 16.
I have 16 as well, and I have no problems running the GDK. What do you run? You should maybe stop your Bitcoin miners, is my tip. Sign-in page is loading. That's good. We should be here in a second. Yeah, this already, blank page already looks better than.
Yes, the errors.
Let me already log into my password manager, because
Password manager is that?
NPass. It's I tried to keep. I just got a different password manager because I wanted to keep the ones for work and different. But funnily though, I just saved all of the GDK ones. I just saved them in the. What is happening? Why is this taking so? I saved them in my private one. See, I was just about. Oh gosh, maybe it's time for a restart. So, okay, to-dos. Maybe we already solved the puzzle.
Maybe. Let's see.
Oh, okay. Doesn't seem like it. Computed HTML. We added the rule to HTML, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No red.
No red. What? So I just assume that the public asset style sheets Yeah, here we actually have this described, right? Import path for EE specific SCSS entry point. In CE, it will import a no-op file. In EE, a functioning file. Order is important so that EE files take precedence. Yes, and I assume that exactly that would be the thing that we need. Config assets path. What do we do? Why don't we try the following? Why don't we try basically the same idea? Let's go here. Then we just copy the whole ordeal. Oh, no. Okay. What happens if we do this? Right? Style sheets. Because I assume that the normal app asset style sheets is in the asset path per default, and we probably cannot have this one overridden. On the other hand, I don't know what this does in Ruby. If like, you know, what does it mean? Concatenation. So it appends stuff to an array. So theoretically, we probably could, you know, make sure that the EE path is before the other one. Let's see what happens. Probably takes a while. I mean, with the to-dos, how did we actually do it? To-dos SCSS. We had like the to-do index HAML, right? Somewhere we need, I mean, somewhere we must. Do you recall where we said that we want to style? Okay, so this is probably now the problem. I hate this. Because we add this with the page bundles thing. Okay. Because we added with the page bundles thing, if we do it like this, probably the style doesn't match anymore. Like the order, I don't know. But it seemed to work. What? Why did it work? No, it doesn't work, right? Did it work? I don't know. Console. Okay. Inspector. Okay. Oh, template checks. Yeah, now it doesn't find the page bundle. Yeah, so we would need to change page.
Hang on, look at that error again there.
Yeah, I added an enter by accident. I assume that one needs to restart the GDK as well. Like the web worker, I assume. So like GDK restart Rails web, because we just changed the config, right?
Yeah.
And this probably now takes again like a long time. Yay. I mean, this is not ideal. I actually like that we had like the page bundles before. I don't know. Config assets path. Maybe let's research about them a little bit. Rails guide, the assets pipeline. Besides assets path, fully qualified paths can be added to the pipeline. Okay, paths are traversed in the order they occur in the search path. By default, this means the files in app assets takes precedence, and they will make corresponding paths in lib, will mask corresponding paths in lib and vendor. So this probably means that we are currently appending the paths while let's maybe return to the logic we had. Let's keep it like this and see what happens. But I would say probably what we want to do is instead of this, which Ruby prepend to an array. How can I prepend to an array? Unshift. Is this even an array? Prepend. Probably someone. Add folder. Yeah, this basically adds stuff. I wonder. Prepend. Production. How to add a completely new assets folder. Asset paths. So this is what they're doing. They're adding stuff, whatever. Okay. I think we might need to have an MR. What do you prefer? Do you prefer that we, because if this currently works, we would need to change in our templates from page bundles / to-dos, right? We would need to change from, in all the templates, we would need to change from page bundles / to-dos just to to-dos.
Okay.
I'm fine with that, but on the other hand, it's kind of masking where this to-dos is coming from, right?
Yeah, it feels like a bit of magic then that it's not easy to follow.
I wonder if one can, how to reprioritize. Okay. I wonder, so this didn't work either. To be honest, like, I'm the person who wrote this comment. And I have the feeling that because I have the feeling there are two possibilities. Either it's not possible to have the EE path more important than the normal path, or I wasn't like, how do you say it? I wasn't like, no, thanks, not good. Like, mutig, what's mutig? Courageous enough to do it. These are the two possibilities. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. I mean, to do stuff, is it even loaded? Yeah, why not? Oh gosh, there's so much things that are loaded here, but where's actually the to-dos? You know how we can I think with this, we actually can see a lot quicker what's happening, because this just compiles the assets and we don't, right? Then we don't need to wait for the whole application. We can just, in the end, once we're, come on. Okay, what did it write? Application doc, select to, icon anchor, font awesome. To-dos. So it wrote a to-dos CSS, right? Oh, nice. So yeah, these are all the long comments, right? Okay, so it actually takes the EE version.
Yes. There it is.
So this works, but it would mean that we need to remove the page bundles from all the things, right? Let's go back a step. And what happens if we do paths unshift? We want to have EE taking precedence. Ooh, this could be this we need to double check, because if we have like stuff here, like, oh no, I think we're good. You know, if we had like any other CSS here in the main folder, that then would overwrite the other stuff as well, right? So let's remove this, and have page bundles again. Wrong command. This should actually be, this is also funny. We actually copy like assets from SQL.js for whatever reason. It's like, okay, let's see what happens. This also should be now rather fast, because I think it looks at the difference and then just copies those. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's definitely not taking the EE version. Which is unfortunate. And I think, I probably was courageous enough back in the day to do an unshift, but I wasn't, it just didn't work. Right. So probably if we, one thing we can do here is like somewhere here, what happens if we do just like an puts config paths, or is it config assets paths assets? Because I assume that the Ruby people were like, hey, you know what? We're not going to allow people to move something in front of the normal asset path, because if we do that, it actually will mean that, yeah, you can see it's always the first one, right? Oh, why is it doing anything though? EE app style sheets. Maybe let's remove this one for a second. Okay. Let's try again. Oh. But you see that, what? Now I'm confused. It's actually the first one on the list. Yeah, it's actually already the first one on the list, but I assume that the normal style sheets path are just more important, right?
Oh, yes.
Because,
Could
you know, otherwise a plugin or whatever could overwrite your assets path and basically destroy your stuff or inject JavaScript or I don't know what, right? So I assume that this is just like kind of a protection mode from kind of a protection mode. I mean, we could put them in a second subfolder or something. We could just move them, or we live with the fact that we might want to, because you know the thing, it worked if we added the page bundles here, right?
Yeah.
Right, that worked. I mean, to be honest, I'm fine with that. Like, we maybe could create an helper that's just an alias that strips the page bundles in the beginning or something. You know,
Yeah.
that we have something like page specific style sheet.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, that is nice in the sense that it's very specific. You have there's no doubts about what you're trying to do. You know, it says what it is and it references the right path.
Yeah, I mean, let's try it. I mean, why not, right? We can just go into, so if we go back here, we have the page bundles, whatever. This already looks correct. We can have style sheets here. This is fine. So we just do this, right? And instead of unshift, we can go back to the normal, whatever this thing is called.
And
Append operator. Yeah, so we can go back to that, and we just need to define a helper. And now the question is, where does one define one of these helpers? Like, what is another one that comes to mind? I think we have some defer, whatever. Defer. Huh. See, this is the one that we're looking for because we have this one. Hee hee. And now we need to just define. Okay, style sheet link tag defer. How did we say? We could just call it like this, right?
yeah.
And then we just do path and gsub page bundles with an empty string.
Yep.
Okay. So in our to-dos, we have that, right? And this just means we need to style sheet link tag page bundles, open and find window, and we can just replace them.
And there's even a page-specific JavaScript already helper.
Yeah, it's interesting because this page, this is actually funny because I don't know how you would add this in, how you would add this into the page specific JavaScript. Let's have a look whether we maybe added in some Ruby, because content for within HAML files, content for. Oh, wait. Okay. I just wonder if you can use this content for stuff in Ruby as well, right? So project JavaScripts maybe? No, it always seems to. Meta tags maybe? No, I just wondered whether someone is somehow CSRF meta tags. Okay, wait a minute. Like content for from Ruby? I mean, this is like, can also be used in helper modules. So we actually could do that. I mean, it's a, wait, content for stored content, this helper, content for if yield, content for in your templates. Oh. Use content for in Ruby. Content for, okay, using the content for method. Content for. I mean, whatever. It's a good call out though, that probably in our tools we want to basically tools. To-dos. Good tools. Probably want to do the same, right? Because right now I think we just rendered it in the HTML somewhere, and this would move it to the head.
Ah, all right, makes sense.
Okay, page specific style sheet link tag. You know, the cool thing is we also, if we are like for performance reasons, we could do this, right? We could defer it.
Yes.
So I don't know what happens now if I need to. So bundle exec reg precompile. Let's precompile again, and let's see what happens. Probably I can, in the meantime, restart Rails web. Oink. Is this your new meeting sound?
It's my Slack notification sound.
Oh, that's amazing. Oink. Love it.
I tried to I minimize notifications to only things that I really want to be alerted to, and then I make it very obvious that it's not a system sound or something.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. So you basically have a special notification tone for me. That's nice.
I used to have a ringtone for my wife when she called me, and it's like it's that sound that says "warning, warning, it's the wife," and she was not very impressed.
Ah, okay. It's better than the beep, 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 you know, the reversing truck engine. That would be not nice. Yes. What are all other mean sounds one could pick? I don't know. There are probably plenty. I had the problem that for some time I used songs as my ringtones, and then when I listened to shuffle music and a song came up, I was just like super confused. And it actually happened to me once that I listened to the song and someone started ringing me. I was like, why is this song starting again? Makes no sense, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this works now. I think this, I mean, it actually would need us to create a merge request, right?
Yeah.
But
I think it's a good iteration in terms of our overall approach. Yeah, I think it feels more specific and meaningful in terms of the implementation. And then we have a good EE solution as well.
And I wonder though why it's not working. To-dos. Ah, it's overwritten.
Oh no.
Why is it overwritten? Color red important. No, it is.
It's over.
Probably because these colors are more specific, right? Like if we choose something else instead of the colors like EE to-dos, we could essentially be like, what is maybe something that we actually have on the page, right? Like, I don't know, to-do.
Why was that rule coming up so many times?
This is a good question. Like, to-do CSS.
There, look there. It's
No. This is weird.
surely that's not right.
I mean, whatever happens in development, you know, stays in development. Maybe let's have a check. I mean, it's a good call out. I would say we can push it. I mean, to be honest, like just for, I wonder if do we actually have a file that we could convert quickly that has like an EECE version? Like maybe there is like, I don't know.
Is that one that I referenced earlier, which is the analytics one? Where is it now? I think it's a cycle analytics one. Has an EE as well. Yeah, cycle analytics.
So this is the EE version of it. And then we have
It's 15 hours.
App assets, style sheets. It's a long one.
But it seems fairly scoped.
Let's just double check. We probably want, okay, so we have one element, cycle analytics, in the cycle analytics bundle. So hashtag cycle analytics, there seems to be one. That's nice. And we have dot cycle analytics, maybe without. Okay. Class, maybe with. All right, so this is part of the cycle analytics itself. I mean, to be honest, John, we're a dream team. I don't know, how long have you booked this thing? It's probably over now, right?
No, I booked it for an hour and a half, I think.
Okay, I mean, to be honest, like, I don't see. I mean, we know what we're doing, right? Like more or less, and let's just do it and assign it to Martin.
Well, yeah. We did the work for them. They can finish it up then.
Exactly. So this is like, hey, this is how we propose to do it. So
Just use a different GitLab user and see it as a community contribution.
I mean, essentially it is more or less, right? So here we have cycle analytics. Okay. I'm now just going to cheat. So this variable doesn't seem to be a color, right? We definitely need our mixins, variables, functions, and everything, right? We are including some clearfix stuff, no colors, font weight normal. Ooh, layout gray. What's link layout gray? Where do we define it? Layout link gray. 7E, 7C, 7C. Okay. Stupid question. GitLab UI color. Design.gitlab.com. You know, I feel so courageous, I can just change colors. I mean, what was it like?
If you're feeling really brave, you might actually change the socks component.
I mean, I created it.
Of course. I mean, you're the owner.
Okay, so what is it? 7E, 7C, 7C?
Yeah.
Like 7. Dip, 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 dip. This one feels evil. Yeah, I mean, like, whatever. You get a new color. I mean, to me, like, what is it? GL gray.
No, the gray.
Gray 500.
Yeah. But remember dark mode. We gotta have to.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why we're like, hey, variable.
Boom.
Boom. I mean, are there other colors here? No. These are the grays, right?
Yeah.
Cool. GL font size. Oh, GL blue 50. I have an idea. Boop. Oh, why is this border color 200? And in this case, it's.
Ooh.
Do you actually know what cycle analytics is?
No, well, I think it's the page that gives you stats on mean time to merge and stuff like that for your group or project. I don't know if it's at the group level.
So what is border color? Do we have like a variable for border color?
We have a border color variable called border color.
Okay, so this is the one, right?
Yeah.
So we can use var minus border color and then border color and gray lightest FD.
That must be gray 10.
Fa 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 fa. Wait, F D A B C D. Oh, but it's almost more like this is like almost white, right?
Yeah, but you can't go white. So like,
Yeah.
but also like, who sees the difference between F and FD? I mean, unless you have a really color accurate screen, you're gonna struggle.
Is actually the A is also the American variant, right? Like, is this American English or British English with an A?
I think it's no, I think even oh wait,
Oh,
gray and
great.
gray are both common spellings of the color gray. So I think GRAY is GRAY is more common in the US, while GREY is more common in other English-speaking countries.
Okay. Today I
it's
learned.
like metric and imperial system.
What? Sometimes it's like, what? I also like this pragmatic approach of, hey, what is gray darker? E. Okay. Okay. Which gray is it? E. A, B, C, D, E, F. E. This seems more like F0, F0, S0, right?
No, it's more like Grey 100.
No, I think E.
Oh wait, that's
is
no.
closer to F0 than DB.
You're right.
You're right. Oh my word! Now you gotta. Oh yeah, it's base 16. You gotta.
You gotta hex it up. GL text color. That one we had, right? Like minus war. Oh no, is it minus war? Now I'm confused. How do no?
It's
War.
just R.
Yeah, okay. Now I was confused for a second. And we just do gray 900, or do we do GL text color like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. More GL text color, more GL text color. So let me, but why? Why do they define their stuff in a different, and no, you don't get your own colors. Okay, this is GL text color, GL text color. Jesus, people. Okay, what's our solution for black?
White.
We don't have a solution for that, right?
No, I don't think we defined a variable for it. But yeah.
I assume once we have done this, UX designer somewhere will just cry out loud. Like,
Well, we should just encourage a UX review as part of the merge request review.
yeah, that's Martin can do that.
Yeah.
So my question would be, where do we? We changed a lot of stuff. Page specific. Okay. Cycle analytics. I just wondered, like, because I had a replacement for text color secondary. Yeah, it was this one. Okay. Maybe I should just search for the GL text color secondary. Okay. Literally the last two instances. Okay. What do we do about black?
does it resolve to 000 currently?
Yeah, or in the case of the theme, it actually resolves to white.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we just declare a variable black for now.
Like theme black.
No, we don't have those theme prefixes anymore. Just black.
Okay, just black.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we're through. Ah, text color. No, we're not. Where was the text color one? Var text color, text color. I think that's it. These are all the colors. So now we would go into the cycle analytics. This is the EE version, right?
Yes.
We post that. We put that there. We have the cycle analytics. We do the import from the EE cycle analytics. Yep. Oh, but GL button active back. Oh, what the heck is this?
Wow. That's like a...
It's not defined in dark mode, so I would just be like, okay, whatever. It doesn't really change. The only thing is that white changes, right? So here we basically need to have the var minus. Let's yeah, okay, no, let's not. White. Variables. Let's not consider the background for now. I'm just like, okay, we can remove this one. We have the cycle analytics. We have the themes dark. We need a white. To be honest, like this is.
Did we not define one up top already? Maybe I'm just. No. Okay. Never mind.
Black and white. Okay, so we have these, right? Page specific. So we definitely want to remove this one, but we don't want to add the new one. App assets. Exactly. This is where we changed all the colors. Here are our new theme colors. This is the new stuff. This is like the page specific bundles. I think it's okay to just move it to a new section, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Makes it a bit more boop.
A bit organized.
We can discard this. Wait, let me just, I have an idea. This is all fine.
Should we make 2 different commits for the structure change and then for
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like, hey, discard this one. I mean, it should be pretty easy because we can be like, hey, let's revert all of these things. Let's run prettier. Oh gosh, no, I don't want that. Yarn run, and then I think we have like a prettier staged or something, right? Oh, so we need to stage stuff first. Okay, though we don't really need prettier because it's just SCSS. The one that I'm looking for is Rubocop. And then we can commit the config. We can commit the application helper. We can commit this change and the to-dos, and this one is fine. Xterm, yeah, exactly. Okay, so this should all but the SCSS changes essentially, right? Okay, cool. Git checkout minus B. What's the epic?
It is 3694.
Epic 3694 page specific EE bundles, right? Git commit, add helper for page specific bundles and prepare for EE. Prepare page specific bundles for EE versions. Unfortunately, we need to refactor our page specific bundles a little bit in order to make sprockets happy and ensure that I don't know why I'm in a weird state of mind today, to ensure in order to ensure that EE versions of page specific CSS bundles are preferred over the CE versions, while still allowing a fallback if not in EE, right? We introduce a little helper method as well in order to be a bit more verbose in the HAML templates, right? To show where the page bit verbose and show where the CSS files are coming from, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Git add. Now we just need to find the cycle analytics page, right? Cycle and
Wasn't it in that? But it wasn't a. Where was that view component used?
cycle analytics. There we have it. Cool. And then we go to our to-dos, right? And we do, oh no, the wrong to-dos. And then we basically copy this, add it here, page specific, and then how was the thing called? Cycle analytics. And then in the config, we just do this. Bundle exec Robocop, pre-compile. Now it should be generated, right?
I just realized I'm going to have to go and update all 60 of those issues with the right instructions in the description.
I mean, that is scriptable. Sam Beckham has written a script for it to update all the issues in an epic.
I am so reaching out to him right now.
Yeah. Okay, we have the cycle analytics written out, and it should be the EE version. So let's check that. Open this one. They see me scrolling, they're hating. Yep, sortable drag. Okay, let me just think for a second, because is there a cycle analytics that, I mean, that page at least should be accessible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Another thing that I'm interested in, because I have a feeling, because there are certain people who have written this script, you know, this front-end script to check a thing for side effects, and they need to move this. Yeah. It's often good if all of the stuff comes from the same people, right? At least the initial work.
Yeah.
So cycle analytics. Yeah. Okay, cycle analytics. So that means I can probably in this repo find like stuff, right?
Yeah, there should be analytics main menu item.
So funny because Simon asked me that he has told me that he's concerned of merging our merge request with the to-do hours because it says the precedent for these EE specific for these variables, right? And he's like, oh gosh, we have no control over it. And actually, it's funny that SCSS has no tools for it, or that there are no linters to, so that you somehow can annotate, hey, please ensure me that this variable is a color and so on, because you can run into problems. So where is it? Analytics.
From the bottom, value stream right at the bottom there.
Okay. Value stream. That's how I call, you know, my salary now. I have a lot to do, Jean. Once we have this MR up, can you take it again?
Yeah, I'm happy to run with it. Oh no! Attacked by the dog.
Cool. Let's. Okay, cool. So this means we can commit, right? Git commit, and then extract cycle analytics page specific CSS in order to show how one would extract a page specific
An EE specific.
Restart. I think Rails web should be enough, but yeah. In order to show how one would extract a page-specific CSS bundle with a SAP EE version, we have done the exercise for value stream analytics. Caveat, some colors have been changed. Okay, should I just call it like value stream?
Yeah. Well, is it value stream, or we should probably call it cycle analytics, because that's the file name.
Okay. Maybe I should reload the page as well in the background. Okay, that sounds good. All the other stuff that we have is git commit -a, -- fix up, git log. Fix up, I show you, it's amazing. So fix up, you just give it a command line message, like commit, right? Git commit -a is just everything. -- fix up is this. The cool thing is now it has like git log and it says fix up and so on. Now if I do git rebase -i origin for interactive rebase master, right? I want to rebase a master. I can give it the auto pumpkin, auto squash, and it will automatically move the commit with the fix up after the first commit that we made. So after the commit you fixed up, and declare it as fix up. So in the rebase, they will be combined together. So we now will have 2 commits, and that's it. And we can just create an MR. And to be honest, like this stuff looks good to me. Like whatever the light grays were and its difference, it looks good to me.
Maybe we can quickly switch to dark mode just as a sanity check.
Yes. It's my favorite tea. Preferences. You know, we have had some bug in the dark mode stuff, and I couldn't switch back my local environment for a while, and it was really annoying.
Oh, wow.
Did it save it now? I don't know how this works, by the way. Like, yeah, now it saved it. You can see it because.
Yeah, there we go. That looks right.
Looks reasonable, right?
Yep.
Cool. Nice. I'm really unhappy with the way how we went with dark mode, because all of these ones are called, I think, UI minus light and dark and so on, right? And I know the reason we have dark, so they didn't went with UI minus dark. But they started with GL minus dark mode. And it's just like GL minus dark. And I'm just like, why don't we go with UI minus dark mode? And yeah, at least be a bit consistent. But now the damage is done, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, looks good. And I'm going to switch back to normal dark. And yeah, cool. Yes, I think that should be fine, right?
Looks good.
I will just hand it over to you as is, and you can work with description and everything. And
I'll do that.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
I mean, if you look at it, it's literally 10 minutes to convert one, right? Just like, hey, move the variables and that's it. And, you know, obviously, if it's just as isolated as this style sheet, but yeah.
Cool.
Thank you very much, Ivy.
No worries. Was a pleasure as always. And yeah, upload the recording, share it with people, and yeah, cool.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.